So what actually is sistering, and why is it a fundamental practice inside of TreeSisters? Well, for those of you who have been inside TreeSisters for a while, you will have heard me going on and on about the 1,000 goddesses, the Tibetan myth that when 1,000 goddesses gather, the divine feminine herself will rebirth through their combined energies. For me, why I hold this myth so close to my heart is because it speaks to something entirely feminine, which is our capacity to merge with life, to open, to dissolve, to allow, to intuit, to be instinctual, to merge. And that essentially feminine quality gives us direct access to the intelligence of life. And to me, the intelligence of life that weaves us into its very fabric is full of solutions that are on behalf of all life, so that humanity, through a different quality of feminine leadership, can actually start to plot a course in a different direction towards radical restoration and care of the natural world. But the first step of that is our reconnection to nature. And one of our ways of reconnecting to our own nature is through sisterhood, because women are essentially an embodiment of the seasons and the cycles. We're connected in so phenomenally, naturally, innately, and yet we've been severed through a history that has divided us. And that division hasn't just been between women, it's been inside ourselves, from our own femininity, our own sense of ourself and what it actually means to be woman, and therefore what capacities there are available to us. So have you ever noticed how when somebody really sees you in a way that kind of blasts through all your versions of yourself and your insecurities, it can call forth a different quality of your own connection to yourself? The kind of opposite of that is every time I see a policeman and I feel guilty. You know, it's like this somebody who's resonating that everybody's guilty until proven innocent calls up that equal resonance in me. But when somebody is looking at you from their highest self and looking for your highest self, there's a transmission, there's an activation of that equal depth of connection inside of you. Sistering is that. Sistering is when I as a woman, you as a woman, consciously choose to step into the fullest expression of yourself that is available to you in every moment. And we're all growing in that continuum of what it means to be fully authentic. And we all know what it feels like to feel incredibly separated from ourselves and lost, but also deep inside ourselves and very, very clear. One of the ways of getting to that clarity is to look for the beauty in another woman, is to call forth another woman's magnificence, her brilliance, her integrity, her depth, the fullness of herself. And in doing that, you can pull yourself into the part of you that knows that that is alive in you too. So sistering another woman can be a gift to ourselves. It can also be a profound gift to the other, because as you sit in the most connected place that you can find, and then you give your full presence to another woman, accepting her completely, it helps her find her own self-acceptance. It helps her touch the depth of herself that she probably longs to be more in contact with on a day-to-day basis. And to me, if women can hold space for each other's magnificence and shift out of this competitive, judgmental way of being that patriarchy has very purposefully elicited between us, then we have an opportunity for a different quality of sisterhood, out of which this becoming a collective gateway for a different quality of consciousness and a different quality of leadership that we call feminine nature-based leadership has a chance to move through us and guide us. So, what is sistering? Well, if I'm sitting here and I'm sistering you, I'm going to come into my heart as much as I can. And to do that, I might simply feel my compassion for humanity, my love of women, or find somebody in myself that I know that I love. Let myself be touched. And then I'm going to open my own energy field to feel for the nature around me, whether I'm sitting in a city or whether I'm sitting in a glorious canyon. Just to feel for the consciousness of all of life around me, so that essentially I'm opening my heart and I'm strengthening and resourcing myself. And then I'm going to open my eyes and I'm going to look at this woman. Now, this woman could be somebody passing you on the street, but in this sistering practice, we'll be sitting very close to each other, cross-legged, facing each other, so that this full frontal transmission of me becomes a full capacity for you to receive my sistering. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to look at you. I'm going to look at you with eyes of love and eyes of acceptance and eyes that are looking to see your fullness, who you really are. And I'm not just looking with my eyes, I'm looking with my whole body. I'm looking from my heart. I'm looking from my totality. It's like I'm becoming a full body tuning fork, resonator, receiver of you. And the other woman's job is simply to let herself be seen. So if we turn it around and I ask you to sister me in this moment, my job is to sit here and feel your regard and then watch what comes up in me. Because when somebody becomes totally present to you, it will elicit whatever is in the way of your own ability to be present to yourself. And they're just like clouds in the sky. It's like weather that can burn off. So as you sit and sister me, my role is simply to express the layers as they come so that your acceptance of me can help me move deeper into myself. So, in your sistering regard, I feel strange around my eyes. I feel tight in my chest. I find it hard to breathe. And as I'm saying these things, I'm feeling them as fully as I can so that my consciousness can help them lift through and out. I've got this strange ache in my back, and I feel a bit lost. And that lostness feels like I'm on the way somewhere. And now I have that feeling of I don't know what I'm doing. And all of these layers, as I move through them, are completely valid. They're just layers of, we don't even need to know what, actually. They manifest in the feelings and we then translate them through our words, but essentially we're just letting them move through and out. And so in this way, you're given an allotted time to sister your partner in these processes. And then there will be a closing and a bowing, and then you can come back and you will reverse the process and you'll do it for each other. And as we do this, as we do it with different women and different women, we call ourselves into this deeper quality of relationship. And that deeper quality of relationship is a profound gateway and stepping off point for anything else that you want to do. It's a way of deeply arriving in a place of love. I would love to see a world where we are actively sistering all women around us and young girls to call forth our greatness and lift each other up as a way of being between women. I hope you love this offering.